We're going to start the study of Mathematics Pure 1 A-Level with this chapter, Coordinate Geometry. It is usually not the topic many books start with, but I like to start with this one because it is very visual and it offers the best transition from your previous qualification to the higher demands of the A-Levels. So with no further ado, let's start with it. And as you can see here, these are things that you've learned a long time ago in geometry. So you have a Cartesian plane defined by two lines that are perpendicular to each other with a scale associated. And if you have any 2 points, let's call them points A and B, how can they be defined under this plane? It can be defined by their coordinates. So if you see here point A, this is going to be the x coordinate of point A, and this is going to be the y coordinate of point A. Same thing goes for point P, or for whatever point you can plot here. Don't forget that this is going to have 3 quadrants, the first, second, third, and fourth. Here I'm focusing on the first one, but this is valid for whatever position that you want over here. In here, you'll have negative values of x. In these two, you'll have negative values of y. On this one over here, if you continue these 2 lines, you'll have both negative values of y and negative values of x, the coordinates of points, that is. So this is represented by the letter that you associate with that point, the letter that identifies that point, open brackets, and you always put the x coordinate first, the y coordinate after, separated by a comma. This is what you have here for both. Let's say that you want to get the distance between these 2 points. The distance between these 2 points is a straight line distance, obviously. And how do you get this? Actually, it's very simple, because you can draw out of this a triangle, which dimensions you can very easily get. See the triangle over here? This is a rectangle triangle. Here you have the right angle. And you want to know what? You want to know the hypotenuse of this right angle triangle. And you do know, if you know the coordinates of these 2 points, you can get the sides of these two, the sizes of these 2 sides. What is going to be this side over here? Is going to be the change in the y coordinates of the 2 points, right? This is the same as this, which is yb minus ya. Same thing goes for this horizontal distance over here. This is what? This is xb minus xa. So if you want to know the hypotenuse, you know that this distance squared equals this distance squared plus this distance squared, which means that if you want to get the distance between 2 points, you can always apply this formula over here. The square root, the distance is going to be the square root of the difference in the x coordinates of the 2 points squared plus the difference on the y coordinates of the 2 points squared. What about the gradient of the line connecting these 2 points? You already learned this a long time ago. For any line, the gradient is going to be now the change of y's over the change of x's. This is no news to you. The value of m, the gradient, is yb minus ya divided by xb minus xa. Pay attention to one thing. This works also if you put ya minus yb divided by xa minus xb. Whatever order of points you pick on top, it has to be the same on bottom. Don't forget that. Another thing, midpoint between the 2 points. The midpoint is this point over here. So if you want the coordinates of that point, how would you get them? It's almost obvious as well. The coordinates is going to be whatever the midpoint is. The x coordinate of that point is also going to be the midpoint between xa and xb. How do you get the midpoint of these points? Just add these 2 values together and divide by 2. Let's say, for the sake of argument, that this is 2 and this is 6. So what would the midpoint be? It will be 2 plus 6, which is 8 divided by 2. It would be 4, right? Same thing goes for the y. The y coordinate of the midpoint is going to be given by the sum of the y coordinates of the 2 points divided by 2. So here you have m usually defined in the midpoint. So you have xa plus xb divided by 2 and ya plus yb divided by 2, the coordinates of the midpoint. And for the first lesson, this is it. It's very simple. You are going to see on the exercises how can this be applied in your exam exercises.